Hi everybody, welcome to Live Blogger. In this tutorial series, we are designing this page using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So here we can see when we hover over these services, we have this background image displayed over here. Now in the previous video, we created this design and we haven't added the hover effect yet, but we have also created the mobile version. So in this video, we will start adding the functionality which is displaying the image when we hover over these text. So let's get started. Now this is our source code, and here we have added this media query of max width 900 pixels. So we need to display the hover effect only when we are greater than 900 pixels. So let's go to the main.js file, and first of all let's add an if condition, and let's type window dot inner width is greater than 900 pixels, and we'll write our code inside this if condition. Now the first thing we will do is we will reference all these feature divisions from here, and here let's go ahead and type const, and I'll just call it features equals document.querySelector all, and here let's type feature. Now this will select all the feature divisions and store it inside this constant. Now let's loop through all these features. So let's type features dot for each, and for each of the feature I'll just call it feature, and let's create an arrow function, and here let's create an image. So let's type const, and I'll just call it feature image equals document dot create element, and let's create an img tag, and let's also add a class. So let's type feature image dot class list dot add, and let's add a class of feature image, and let's append this to the feature. So let's type feature dot append child feature image. Now when we hover over this feature, we need to display the image. Now there are multiple ways of doing this. We will do it by creating a data attribute. So here for each of the features, I'll just add a data attribute, and let's create a data attribute called data image src, and let's provide the link of the image. So it is images/websites.jpg, and in this way let's go ahead and add the data attribute for all these features. So here let's change this to applications.jpg, and then we have debugging.jpg, and then we have seo.jpg, and then lastly we have branding.jpg. Now you can also add different images for mobile and desktop versions. So this is for the mobile version, and you can add different image for the desktop version over here. So now let's go to our main.js file, and here let's add an event listener to the feature. So let's type feature.add event listener, and let's add an event called mouse over, and here let's create an arrow function. And first of all let's get the image URL, which is inside this data attribute data image src. So let's type const, and I'll just call it image URL equals feature dot get attribute, and we'll get this attribute called data image src, and we need to add this image URL to the src of this feature image. So let's type feature image dot src equals image URL, and now let's go to the style.css file, and here for the feature image mobile we have these styles. So let's add this class as well, feature image. Now this is for the desktop version, so let's type feature image, and it will also have these same classes. And now let's go back over here, and when we hover over this feature, or when we bring our mouse over this feature, what we need to do is we need to set the display to block, because here we can see that we have set it to none. So let's type feature image dot style dot display equals block, And now let's add an event listener for mouse out. So when the mouse pointer moves out of the feature, we need to remove this display of block. So let's type feature dot add event listener, and let's listen for the mouse out. And let's create an arrow function, and here let's type feature image dot style dot display equals none. And now let's go back to our website, and now if we hover over this, we can see that the images are being displayed. Now the size is not correct, so let's go ahead and style that. Let's go back, and here let's add some more styles. Let's go ahead and set the width to 240 pixels, and let's set the height to 300 pixels, and let's type object fit to cover so that it has the correct proportions. And we'll also rotate it a little bit, so let's type rotate, and let's set the rotation to -3 degrees, and let's also bring it to the center. So here let's type top of 50% and left of 50%, and let's also type translate to -50% and -50% so that it is exactly in the center. And now we can see that the images are exactly in the center. Now the last thing we need to do is when we move this mouse pointer, we also want to move the image. So let's see how to do that. Let's go back and let's go to the main.js file, and let's add one more event listener. So let's type feature dot add event listener, and let's add an event listener for mouse move. And here we will get some values, so I'll just call it E. You can name this anything you want. And here first of all, let's get the information about our feature. So for that, I'll just create a const called rect, and here we need to type feature dot get bounding client rect, and here we need to get the offset x and offset y values, and we need to calculate the position of the mouse pointer. So let's type const, and let's call it offset x, and here we get some value inside E. So let's type E, and let's type dot client x, and then let's type const offset y equals E dot client y. So this will give us the pointer position, and we also need to subtract the left position of the rect so that we get the correct position relative to this feature. So here we need to type minus rect dot left, and here let's type minus rect dot top. And now the last thing we need to do is we need to set the left and the top positions of the feature image to this value. So let's type feature image dot style dot left equals, and let's add backticks, and here let's type $, curly braces, and let's add the variable name, which is offset x, and then we need to type pixels over here, and I'll just duplicate this, and here we need to type style dot top, and here we need to type offset y. And now let's go back, and now we can see that the image is moving along with the mouse pointer, and everything is working all right. So that's basically how you can add this image hover effect using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now there's one issue with this. If we go outside this feature, we can see that the image is still being displayed. So we need to hide the image when we go out. So for that, you can just go to this style.css file, and here for the feature image class, we can just add pointer events to none so that we won't be able to interact directly with the image. So now if you go back, here we can see when we go outside this feature, the image disappears. So everything is working all right. So that's basically how you can create this effect using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And now let's take a look at the mobile version, and let's see whether everything is fine. And for the mobile version, we have some problems. So let's fix that. And let's scroll down, and here we have the feature image mobile. Now here we can see that we have set the inset to 0, but if you scroll up here for the feature image, we have added these styles. So it is also added to this class over here. So we can just go ahead and remove this inset of 0, and it will reset the values, and it will take the values that we add right here. So now if you go back, now we can see that the mobile version is looking all right. And in the mobile version, we'll also remove the rotation. So let's scroll down, And here let's type rotate 0 degrees. And now we can see that we don't have the rotation in mobile version. And if you take a look at the desktop version, here we have everything working as usual. So with that, we have completed creating this design. So that's basically it for this video. I will leave the link of the source code in the description of this video. And if you have any doubts, you can ask in the comments below. And if you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel to get the latest video updates. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day.